All right, you guys, we're making jam. Welcome to my kitchen. It's a jammy kind of day. I've got raspberry jam here, homemade. So easy, so simple. I hope you check out this recipe. You're gonna love watching this one, I promise. Before I get started, I would love to ask if you would consider hitting the subscribe button down below. I love making these recipes, and I'm forming a community of amazing people who love healthy food. So if you're interested in being part of this community, would you consider hitting the subscribe button down below? It's that little red button. Let's do this journey together. And now let's get started on this next recipe. Hey you guys, I'm Christine Avanti Fisher. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you how I make simple, easy raspberry jam. Now this is just a method. It is not my personal thing I created. I did not create the method of making strawberry jam. It's just the method that I follow. That was actually passed down from my grandmother, Rosemary Avanti. So here is what you're going to need. You're going to need 8 cups of raspberries. Here they are. I've got fresh raspberries, 8 cups. Then you're gonna need, and I know this sounds like a lot, 7 cups of sugar. And then you want 1 lemon. I use the juice, or a little bit of juice from a lemon to brighten up the jam. 1 package of Sure-Jell fruit pectin, or whatever brand you want. I've always seemed to use this one. It works great. If you use less sugar, which is absolutely fine, it just doesn't solidify as much. Then your jam's gonna be a little bit more runny, which is completely fine. Because if you're putting it on toast, or you're adding it to your overnight oats or chia seed pudding or whatever, it's gonna be fine. Here's a couple things that you're gonna need. I actually bought a jam making kit online years ago. And what it came with was a funnel so that you can actually put it into your mason jar. It's got a couple of things. This is actually to help grab your lids. And then these little tools are to help get the jars out of the water when you sterilize them. Make sure you have a nice big canning pot with a nice rack so you can immerse your mason jars of jam into the boiling water. The other thing I do is I have a smaller pot on the stove top, and I use this for sterilizing and cleaning my lids. That's all. So the mason jars have been boiling in hot water for 10 minutes. So in my mind, they're sterilized. That should be enough. And I've got these handy dandy gloves. They're a little bright, I know. And I'm going to pull these jars up out of here. See how hot and steamy they are? It's amazing. They're nice and clean. The mason jars are out. I just leave them over here to cool off. And then I've created this nice little assembly area. Okay, so making jam is pretty easy. We're just gonna drop the fruit in. And then what I like to do, these are room temperature, so it's easy. I'm just gonna mash them a bit. Some people like to run the jam through like a cheesecloth, get the seeds out. I leave the seeds in. I just feel like we buy jam at the grocery store and it has the seeds. Just leave the seeds, it's fine. Okay, so once you get your raspberries to the texture you want, because we're gonna preserve this for a few months, I don't reduce the sugar as much as I normally would, but if you're gonna just do a jam you're gonna put in the fridge, we could reduce the sugar by a lot. So the raspberries have been mashed up, and I'm just bringing the heat up. I'm between medium and medium high. Usually when I start to see this, where it's bubbling a little bit, then I'll add the pectin. So here it goes. Gonna give it a little stir, bring it down to medium. We just want the fruit warm enough so that when the sugar goes in and the pectin goes in, it dissolves nicely. A little bit of lemon juice just to brighten it up a bit. All right, next goes the sugar. And then you just want to give it a good stir. Now, some people that make jam say when these bubbles form, you're gonna start to see all this bubble and this foam kind of come up on the top. They say if you put like a tablespoon of butter, it reduces the foam. So that's what I do sometimes. It reduces it a little bit. Just wanna bring it up to a light boil to make sure all of the sugar is nice and dissolved. All right, so now the jam has been made. I'm going to ladle it in to these jars. I take the back of one of these, or you could use a knife or something, and I'm just gonna go around the edges to make sure there's no air bubbles. You don't want an air bubble. Really, my grandmother used to always say, cooking's not hard, it just takes time. Then I take a damp paper towel and I'm just gonna kind of wipe around the edges. Okay, the jam is happy. Now I'm taking my little handy dandy magnet. I'm gonna just put my little lids on that I've sterilized. Now these jam jars are hot, so you wanna be careful. I love this thing. You just drop it on in and it's just gonna go for 10 minutes. Here we go, look at this beautiful jam. Just gonna set it here to cool. Get the water off the top, set it to cool. And what happens overnight is a suction happens, like a vacuum happens inside the jar, and then you know it's sealed and you can keep your jam for 3 to 6 months. Okay, all right, so we did it.
Remember to like, save, share, and that you are deeply loved by God.